it doesn't matter how good and how smart and how the epiphany that you have, if you're telling it to the wrong crowd, it's gonna make you feel. I got activated this morning and I really wanted to share it in the moment, because as a generator and a sacral authority, I really wanted to respond to my human design, because what I've been finding is, since I've been following my human design, that's when all the things just started clicking in my life, unfolding in the way that has been pretty incredible. So if you're not familiar with human design, it is basically the mechanics of being human. What would we do based on our truth? Not because we think we should do it, not because somebody expects us to do it. What feels good based on our type? And there are 5 or 6 different types, and my husband is completely different to me. And it is kind of relative to what I want to talk to you about today, because I was activated this morning. And if you're wondering, activated? What are you talking about, activated? So you're probably more familiar with triggered. I don't really like using the word trigger anymore, because what I found was, instead of reacting and thinking that something has triggered me, because when we say triggered, it sounds like a bad thing. But what I found is, part of my work in this Binge to Billions mission and revolutionizing recovery as we know it, harnessing the power behind the urges to create our fairy tale lives, to create the mind behind our purpose, and to create wealth and abundance in every area of our life, is that once I started seeing the lessons that are hidden within the triggers, I realized there were activations, there were opportunities for me to be one step closer to all my deepest desires and dreams. So anyway, this morning I was activated, but if you're more familiar by triggered, it just means something made you feel wobbly, something either pissed you off, something made you feel anxious or angry, whatever it is, which we normally would label as a bad thing. And back in the day, I would probably label that person as a bad person if they were the one responsible for triggering me. So this morning, anyway, like, before I go into the story, I just want to give you the background. We are living in my dream house. It has been on my manifestation board. Well, actually, it's been on my mind. I didn't have a manifestation board until I started learning about manifestations. But it has been a dream of mine since I was a little girl to have this white house in the countryside, looking over land and fields and mountains, and having a like that picket white fence. Maybe it was like watching so many of those American movies, but I imagined that when I was going to be an older person, that I would live in this white house with a white picket fence. That had been my dream the whole time. And so I manifested this house, and we moved in about 2 years ago, and it has taken so long for all the logistics to be sorted. Like, you know, we have to have everything done. It is not a house that was ready done. It has to have a lot of work in. We had to gut the whole place out. There's no insulation. Everything has to be done like deeper than just cosmetics. And it's taken all this time for the things to start moving. We haven't done literally anything in the house because we're waiting for the men, like the workmen, to sort out the licenses with the local mayor and all those things. Anyway, that's going to start soon. But what I really wanted to share with you was that it's now started to get really, really cold in the southwest of France. And this morning, it went down to, I think, 11.5 degrees in our kitchen. And the thing is, we don't have any heating at all in the whole house apart from where we're all staying in, which is in the living room. We've been camping in our living room all this time because it was just more like sufficient for us to stay in the living room. It's the most done up room in the whole house while we're waiting for the work to be started in the rest of the house. So the kitchen went down to 11.5 degrees and I'm there like making breakfast, and I don't know what came over me. I took a photo and I sent it to my English family and I sent it to my French family. We have like this group WhatsApp chat, and so I sent, the photo of the temperature in the kitchen, and then I went in the bathroom and then that was 7 degrees. So I sent the photo of the temperature, and then I noticed while I was making breakfast that like my breath, I could even see my breath in the kitchen. And I sent that to my French family and my English family. And I guess it was kind of like the reason why I shared it, because first of all, when I shared it, I didn't really think of anything too deep. I just wanted to share, oh my God, I cannot believe it's 11 degrees in the kitchen and it's even colder in the bathroom, which is 7 degrees. And my family, when they received that, they were all laughing. My dad was going, oh my God, it's summer there already then, joking around. My sister was laughing and she went, it was 14 degrees in our living room. And then I got the response from my French family and they're like, why are you sending that? It's like as if you're like proud of sending the temperature, and they're like, you have to put heating on. And do you know what? And then my husband said to me, why are you like sending that to the chat? He goes, they're not interested. And it made me realize something about the human perception, this journey. We always feel like that we're going to get wiser and we're going to learn stuff about manifestations and about, when you're building a legacy, when you're trying to make an impact in this world, that the lessons are going to be from some course or a book or, I don't know, like somewhere along those lines, something educational maybe on social media. But what I found is that the biggest lessons that I've had has been from my everyday life, has been from the interactions that I have with the people around me, and often with the people that are closest to me. And obviously I didn't expect the reaction from my French family, because obviously I'm English, and for me, the reaction that my English family came back with me was the reaction that I was expecting. It was like joking around, oh my God. And that was the moment where I got triggered by my French family. I was thinking, oh my God, I didn't realize I was doing something so wrong, especially when my husband pointed out, why are you showing that? Nobody's interested. And it was an opportunity for me to really contemplate, and this is what I wanted to share with you, was that the old me would have thought, oh my God, like probably made a huge fuss about it and thought that it's my French family, like I didn't do anything wrong. But it made me realize that, it made me pause and think about, why did I share that in the first place? What was I trying to achieve? And I think there's a couple of things. The first initial thing is that, if I was telling the truth, was that I wanted attention. I wanted people to see, look, this is what I'm going through, and I am being really brave. It is 7 degrees in the bathroom, it's 11 degrees in the kitchen, and I am here living in that. Yes, I am being brave. So when my French family said, what are you doing? Is something like is this something you're proud of? And it made me sound like, is it really bad to sound really proud of that? Because I was proud of this. I was proud of this moment. At the moment, and then I contemplated on it a little bit more, and I thought to myself, actually, I wanted to really mark the moment, because one day this whole house is going to be done up. We're going to have no problems with heating. We're going to go and walk around, and every single room is going to be warm. One day the house will be nice and comfortable, and one day will be like, there'll be nothing to do with this house. We wouldn't even think about the cold, because it would be all insulated. And I guess I really wanted to mark this moment to remember where we were, to remember that once upon a time it wasn't 11 degrees in the kitchen. Once upon a time we were showering in the garage. Once upon a time we were all camping in the living room, and once upon a time we were showering at 7 degrees. Thinking about it, it was such a humbling moment that this is where I am, and I know it's not going to be like this the whole time. And I had to justify to my French family, to say that I'm sorry if it worried you unnecessary, because this is not what my intentions were. My intentions was really, I don't know, I had no intentions. I was just showing off, I guess, and showing off how brave we are living in this. But it's no way like I wasn't intentionally trying to worry anyone. So, and why am I sharing this? The reason why I'm sharing this is that the same exact action that I did, the same exact thing and words and information, the way that I acted, the same message was received so differently, so much contrast. My family, my English family, laughed about it, which I'm English, and that's what the expectation that I thought that's how it would be received. And on the other hand, the French were so worried and so defensive and like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to show off? It's like, what are you so... It was complete contrast, even though it was the same thing. So what has that taught me. It's taught me about this journey, this hero's journey, this self-awareness journey, this awakening journey, this binge to billions journey, is that we must remember that most of the things that we are experiencing is perception. So what I'm saying is that there are people that you can share whatever you want and they're going to completely get what you're saying. But there's going to be people you say the exact thing and they're totally going to think you're absolutely nuts, you're cuckoo, who are you, who are going to judge you. It doesn't matter how good and how smart and how the epiphany that you have. If you're telling it to the wrong crowd, it's gonna make you feel like shit, really, because you're gonna start doubting yourself. You're gonna start wondering whether you've done something wrong, where really it's not really about what you've said. It is really about who you're saying it to.